Welcome back to One on One. I'm joined by Andy Harris and Tom Waterman to discuss everything NASCAR. Andy, what are your reactions from Speed Week and the Daytona 500?
Let's start off with a pothole, okay? That
incredible
3-foot-long, 3-inch pothole just chilling down in turn 1. I'm sorry, that's insane. It's not. It's totally unacceptable.
Inexcusable.
Yes, I mean, and that doesn't fall on NASCAR. That falls on the officials.
What about how they fixed it once and then it came back? That's on NASCAR.
Fair enough.
Well, they're not miracle workers. You know, they're trying to build a racetrack.
But that falls on the officials of Daytona International Speedway. They haven't paved that track in over 30 years, okay? I mean, their job is to put on a good race, keep care of their facility, and they haven't done that.
Especially with all the problems they've had with the Goodyear tires lately, to have problems with the track, it's not what you're hoping for.
It'd be like a trench appearing on the field during the middle of the Super Bowl. It's just unacceptable.
Hey, I've ruined my tires on a pothole before. You know, if regular drivers have to deal with it, then I think NASCAR should too. But, you know, guys, now that the Daytona 500's over, who do you believe is going to be the surprise driver next year, Andy?
Martin Truex Jr. Okay, just moved to Michael Waltrip Racing, which, although it's struggled so far in its first 2 or 3 years, it's really moving in the right direction, especially now with Michael Waltrip not driving every race. And he picked up crew chief Pat Tryson, who has made every single chase except for one with multiple drivers. He's one of the best crew chiefs in the garage, and he's going to be a great fit for Martin Truex. Look for him to make the chase and contend for the title.
I'm going to go back to his old team. DEI, now Earnhardt Ganassi Racing. I'm going with Juan Pablo Montoya. Go back to 2008, 25th in the point standings with 9 DNFs. Last year, 8th in the point standings with 18 top 10 finishes and 0 DNFs. This guy's really coming on and having a great Daytona 500 last weekend.
Yeah, you're right. He's finally figuring out the stock cars. He's got the talent. It's all about experience. He's finally catching up in that department.
Definitely.
He's a legit title contender.
All right, guys, so, you know, these are some surprise guys, some up-and-comers. Do any of them have a chance of winning the Sprint Cup? And if not, who do you think is going to be the Sprint Cup winner?
I don't think they have a chance. To me, it's Dale Jr. I'm going out on a limb. 25th in points last year. But when his 3 teammates,
the god of NASCAR,
Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, and Mark Martin all finished 1, 2, 3, and Rick Hendrick said his offseason priority was to make Dale Jr.'s team better, I see Jr. winning it all, especially after coming in 2nd in the Daytona 500.
Okay, I mean, there's no way he can be worse. He's a better driver than where he finished last year. But you're wrong. It's Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson's going to win his 5th straight Cup. Look, I know it's not good television. I know it's bad for the ratings.
It's safe.
I know, but I mean, it's safe to pick him, but it's like foolish to pick against him.
Take off the child restraint and get into the fast lane, Andy. Jimmy Johnson has won 4 in a row. That's not safe. He's not going to win.
But that's all the more reason to pick him because he's established himself as clearly the best. He's got the best crew chief, easily. Chad Knaus is a genius. Best equipment, great crew, one of the best drivers, and he doesn't make mistakes. That whole team.
It certainly is tough to pick against Rick Hendrick Racing.
Well, guys, you know, Jimmy Johnson's been dominating, but also the Car of Tomorrow has been, you know, doing well in NASCAR since its debut in 2007. So, guys, how do you feel about the car, and how is this impacting the sport, and how's it going to go going forward?
Mike, I hate it. I really, really hate it. I think it has killed NASCAR. The track speeds are down. The front of the cars are too fragile with the splitter on the front end and the front. Once you make a little bit of contact, it gets bent. You lose all your downforce. Your car doesn't get down on the track. And because of that, cars are moving to the back of the pack. It's terrible for NASCAR. There's too much single-file racing. I just don't like it.
Okay, what are the 2 worst words in NASCAR? Aero push. I have not heard that once since the Car of Tomorrow was implemented, okay? These cars are not dependent on aerodynamics, which means they can beat and bang, they can get damage. I mean, remember the old car, whenever those cars would get damaged, they wouldn't handle, and you drop back to 25th.
But the old car didn't have that ugly wing on the back.
Well, they're getting rid of that, which I agree. That their wing is ugly. They're going back to the spoiler, which I think is a great move. But I love the Car of Tomorrow, and most importantly, it's safer. If it saves even one driver's life, I think you have to consider it a success.
Completely agree.
All right, guys. Well, you know, we talk about this Car of Tomorrow. The NASCAR of Tomorrow is featuring a woman driver named Danica Patrick. So, guys, how do you think after last week, how's she going to fare in her future in NASCAR?
Well, she came in 35th in her first race in the NASCAR Nationwide Series. As we all know,
the minor leagues.
The AAA of NASCAR. But she wasn't running well when she got into that accident. And she was in the IRL before. She only won 1 race in 82 attempts. She's just not that good.
Yeah, let me preface it by saying this. I really, really hope I'm wrong. She'd be great for the sport if she succeeded. I just don't see it happening. You know, like you said, only 1 win in over 80 starts in the IRL, and that's with smaller fields, weaker competition, and she was in the best equipment possible for the IRL, and she had 1 win. She was a marginal driver there, and then she's coming to NASCAR, where it's about, I don't know, 3 or 4 times as difficult to win. I don't see how, you can predict her to be successful.
And she's with a developing team, JR Motorsports, owned by Dale Jr., actually. But this is a team that's only been around 2 years now. She's only the second driver on that team. There's not enough experience in that team, and let alone with her.
Absolutely not.
Well, guys, real quick, is this a publicity? Is this going to help NASCAR publicly or not?
Publicly,
just real quick.
Yeah, publicly, sure, of course. I mean, just going to bring in, people who aren't really NASCAR fans and be like, hey, I want to check out this Danica Patrick, see what she's all about.
I think so because she's Danica Patrick, not the fact she's a woman, because Chrissy Wallace started in that same race. Another woman came in 43rd.
And got no press.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks, guys. That's all we have for you today. But remember, you can listen to us on WSOE 89.3 or check us out on the web. For everyone at One on One Sports, whose side are you on?